Hi, I'm Gina Tabrizi, licensed marriage and family therapist. I am so excited that you're going to be joining me on this journey to present different topics to you. As a licensed marriage and family therapist of 33 wonderful years of experience, there's lots of things that I love to talk about and share and inform you about in the genre of general mental health or daily living issues that you might come across, and some issues that might be a little bit deeper than that. So today I was thinking about, we're getting close to the holidays. Woo! It's supposed to be so fun and so exciting, and it's busy and it's hectic. But what I want to tell you is there's a deeper issue that happens around the holidays. Is most people don't know that the majority of people suffer depression. Our numbers in depression are so high these days, and many people get very blue and very blah around the holidays. And there's lots of reasons for that, and it's important that you understand what's going on with you. You know, it makes you feel terrible when you're the person who's grouchy and grumpy and not really into the holiday spirit like everybody else is in the hustle and bustle and the jingle of it all, and you don't get it. You feel like, I don't feel connected to this. This doesn't seem important to me. I feel like I'm so detached. Well, you may be suffering from seasonal affective disorder, or SAD as it's appropriately known, because some people change when the environment and the weather changes, when it gets darker and gloomier and the days are long, but they're dark and gloomy and cold. A lot of people really start to become very down. That lack of light and stimulation by the sun and that lack of vitamin D really can be very pronounced during those times. But there's other thing that happens in the holidays. It's a time of loss. Many people have lost loved ones that they adore. I spoke to a woman the other day who had a 45-year marriage and just doesn't know how to show up for the holidays without her spouse. This has been her forever person, and suddenly that person isn't there. Many of you have lost people that you love, or you're going through a challenge. Maybe it's a divorce or a separation. And when you're experiencing these things, even anniversary dates of people that you've lost, it makes it really difficult to want to celebrate, to want to be joyous, happy, and free. One of the things I want you to know is that you can change anything that you're experiencing in this moment by the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you walk through the experience. What I mean by that is, if you're suffering and you're in sadness and you're hurting over a loss, is to say to yourself, how would my partner want me to be in this moment? And what do I remember about this person that I adored that I can celebrate right now, that I can think about, that brings a joyous and happy memory back to me? See, if you focus on the thing that you love and the reason that you were connected to the person and the reason that they made you happy, and that's the reason that you're sad and that you're remembering them right now, if you focus on the joy of it, then you will feel that joy. It won't take it away, but it's a little dent and a little sliver in that sadness that you can begin to work on. And then say to yourself, would my partner want me to be depressed at home, not celebrating, not being with my family or my friends? Is that what they would really want for me? No, nobody would want that for you. Your partners, your kids, your parent, your loved one, whoever you've lost, and around this season it reminds you of that, they want you to live life again. They want you to do the thing that they're not able to do right now. And so I want you to kind of shift your thinking around that sadness around the holidays if it has to do with a loss or grief. For some of you, the sadness around the holidays just being estranged from your family. For whatever reason, you're in this feud, you don't talk to your brothers anymore, your sister disowned you. Maybe you're in an active addiction. Maybe you're in recovery and you had a relapse and your family's turned their back on you. These are other circumstances that you could be estranged from family and feeling very lonely around the holidays. Know this, the most important person to show up for is you. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not able to be there for anybody in your life. So these people that are estranged from you or passing judgment on you or have resentment towards you, the way that you can reintegrate and reconnect with them is by taking care of yourself and being the person that they're wanting you to be in the first place. Show up for your recovery, show up for your sobriety. Instead of worrying about how I'm going to manipulate or get back into that family or what else do I have to do to prove to them that I'm okay, prove it to yourself. Go to your therapy appointments, go to your meetings if you practice a 12-step program, which is the best and most tried and true way to stay in sobriety. So I want you to think about your resources. When we get depressed and we're feeling sad and we're feeling blue around the holidays and we're feeling disconnected from family, we need to connect with other people. And the 12-step program is one way to do it, and going to a therapist is another way to do it. Going to a church, going to a function, going to a work function. Get out of your comfort zone. It is really hard to do these things when you feel sad. I hear you. I know that. I believe that. I'm a survivor of depression. I get it. So, one thing that you can do is you can make that commitment to yourself to do something different today. Today I'm going to show up to that work function. It's something I would never do. Today I'm going to go to that meeting that I've never gone to. Or today I'm going to pick up a phone and I'm going to talk to a friend. The greatest way to combat the holiday blues is to reach out to people that you love. It isn't always your family. Your family, if they're there for you and you're very connected and they loved you, you are so very blessed. That is not the majority of people. Many, many people are estranged from their blood. So you need to find a family of choice. You need to find people that you love, that you care about, that you know and notice tried and true, they have shown up for you over and over again. Now, those are the people to reach out to towards the holidays. And I want you to think about, if there is something that you've done, some wrong against someone that you love, and that's the reason why you're not invited back to Christmas dinner, then I want you to think about making an amends. See, oftentimes we sit on our own resentment, in our own history, in our families, with our friendships, with our spouses, and we're holding an inventory of all the things that they've done wrong and all the ways they've wronged us, but we forget to take a personal inventory of how we have wronged them. What have I done? And what can I do to change this situation? How can I reach that person? How can I let them know that truly in my heart, what I want to show them is love? I don't want to be angry. I don't want to argue. I don't want this discontent and this discomfort between us. I want us to find a way in a middle ground. And see, we get so caught up in our egos, we get so caught up in being right, that often we're wrong because we're unwilling to let down the sword, to let down that ego, to let down the argument and the fight and the need to be right, to really let it go. This is a constant conflict in families and marriages and friendships and work relationships, with co-workers, with your peers. I know I've experienced it very often where either I've held on to something and it caused a rift between me and one of my colleagues or in my family. So I want to tell you, I know what I'm saying is hard, but I'm telling you it's a solution. If you do it, it'll be way easier than you ever imagined. Go to someone you love today and say, I need to make an amends for you, and be really clear, what is that amends about? I understand when I said this to you last week that was belittling, or it was judgmental, or it was cold, or it was critical. I don't want to speak to you that way. I want to speak a language of love, which above all else means to respect. So take an inventory over your relationships, over the holidays, and say to yourself, am I showing up and respecting the people that I love? And am I giving them everything I have? And am I being authentic? See, one of the things that happens if you're suffering from sadness or depression in the holidays is you're trying to hide it. You're masking it. You're putting on a happy face. There's an adage and program that says, fake it till you make it, which I absolutely love, because I think on some days that's the best we can do, is just fake it till we get on the other side of that bad feeling. But sometimes that faking it becomes a permanent condition. And then your family members, when you're upset with them and you finally say, I'm so upset, I'm so uncomfortable here, I'm feeling really sad, I feel lonely, they look at you like you're insane, because they've never heard this from you. Keeping your emotions a secret from the people that you love and not really sharing your authentic emotions with them is hiding one of the best parts of yourself. It's the truest part of yourself. It's the part of yourself that can change and is going to affect change. So I want you to practice again connecting with these feelings of sadness. And I'm not saying wallowing in them to the point that you can't get up off your bed and function in a day, because that's severe depression and that can happen. What I want you to do is I want you to notice the feelings, and I want you to share it with someone that you care about and say, I need to be with somebody right now. I don't feel good being by myself. I'm very lonely. I'm being very critical. I'm lost in my thoughts. I feel very unhappy. I need a distraction. It's okay to distract yourself from the sadness too. This is a great tool to use. So I've talked about taking a personal inventory, reaching out to people, using your voice, expressing your emotions, making amends. That's a whole list. So write all those down. Those are all different things that you can do and tools that you can use during the holidays to maybe make a change between whether you're going to be alone or not, whether you're going to break that cycle or not. Another thing that you can do is use nature. Nature is one of the greatest gifts that we have. When you don't feel good and you feel dark in your head and in your mind, I want you to reach out. I want you to go outside, to go for a walk. If you're in cold, freezing weather right now, I know that's hard to do, but open up a window and feel the breeze and feel the coolness come in. Notice the snow if that's where you're at. If you're blessed to be near the ocean, go to the ocean. Nature is very, very healing and calming. It has a rhythm to it. And it's hard to be tense and agitated and angry when you're connecting with nature because the rhythm of nature is very calming and very soothing. Get up and go for a walk. Now, these are things you've probably heard, and you see them on the internet every other day, or you heard them from your yogi in your yogi class that you attend that helps you get zen and get in a good mood. So I'm not saying anything earth-shattering, but I'm saying to you as a professional and as a woman in recovery from her own depression that these small changes are monumental in battling the disease of depression and of sadness and of the holiday blues. And when you're out in nature and you're connecting and you see the wonder and you see the magnificence and you see the huge, vast sky or ocean or mountains or wherever you are, the sea, then you start to see how small your problem is in the face of the universe, in the face of the world. And it's a perspective that we all need to see how we get caught up in very minute, very small, very disturbing thoughts that we ruminate over. We repeat them over and over again, and that layered on top of each other, negative thoughts, then becomes depression, then becomes sadness, then becomes I'm stuck on my sofa and I'm binge watching Netflix and I don't want to get out of my house. That's what it becomes. So I want you to also start to speak to yourself in a more loving way. When you hear those negative thoughts, say to yourself, I deserve more than this. This isn't the entirety of my world and my universe. This is just one moment in my life. This loss of a loved one or a job, this angry outburst from my spouse, this horrible conversation with my kid, this agitated, conversation I had at work, any one of those circumstances is just a moment. It is not the entirety of your life. And it's important for you to make it that small and put it in that context. When you don't do that, then those feelings attached to those negative thoughts grow and they become so overwhelming. And that's a majority of our anxiety and depression, which most people are walking around with. And it seems insane that so many of us would be suffering that, but really it comes from this negative self-talk, repeating to ourselves, staying in the problem and not getting into the solution. So just for today, this talk, this video, this time that I'm spending with you is about giving you solution to something very basic, such as feeling blue around the holidays, which really is about general sadness, general grief, or general depression of any kind. And I want you to know this, the holidays has that added pressure of expectation that we're supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to set the perfect table and buy the perfect gift for everybody and have the perfectly lit house and have the perfect picture in front of the Christmas tree of our family. And it's a crock. I have no other word for it. It's such a setup for everyone to feel that they have to measure themselves to everybody else all over the world to some insane idea of what perfection is. And truth be told is, what makes you happy right now? If it doesn't make you happy to run out and shove your kids in the car and find some tree that you can take a picture of and make it look good for everybody else, what does make you happy? Make a list of those things, the things that make you happy, bring you joy, bring you comfort, and don't buy into and feed into the expectation of everybody else. If it does make you happy to buy that tree and be in front of your fireplace, if you have one, and take a picture with your kids, then great. But if it stresses you out and you're stressed out running around the malls trying to find that thing for that boy and that girl who said, if I don't get this, my Christmas is going to be ruined, reevaluate within yourself. What am I really doing? What am I really feeding into? What am I really giving into? And give yourself permission to do less. We are a society of people doing instead of being. And I'm saying, even if it's for 2 weeks during the holiday, give yourself permission to just be. Be with yourself, be in peace, be in nature, be close to the people that you love. Keep the people that you don't love at a distance. Don't overcommit yourself. Don't force yourself to do things that you don't want to do. But at the same time, stay connected to people so you won't feel that loneliness and that isolation that the holidays can sometimes breed. I hope that this was helpful to you today and that you'll continue to watch these videos with us here. I'm Gina Tabrizi again, licensed marriage and family therapist. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and take care of you.